Hi, good morning. My name is Lim. I am a full-time caregiver to my 56 years old wife, Wong Fong, who had a stroke on 28th of April this year. During the initial COVID-19 and the control movement order in Malaysia. It was 7 in the morning and she was doing her usual light exercises in the living room. I was in the kitchen preparing my breakfast for the family members. Because it was MCO, we were not rushing to work. After the exercises, she sat down and had some water. And suddenly she realized her left arm was weak and numb. She screamed for help. I rushed to her. She told me about her arm. I recall the info I had Googled about FAST, the test to see if someone is having a stroke. I asked her to smile. There was a droop on the left side. I checked her arm and leg. Both were weak and she was having difficulties in walking. I knew she was having a stroke and had to rush to hospital for urgent treatment. I woke my 3 sons up and asked them to call 999 immediately. The ambulance arrived in about 40 minutes at 7:40 a.m. The personnel came well prepared to treat a stroke, and after getting medical attention, she was rushed to the nearest hospital, PPUM, or University Hospital in PJ. She was there by 8 a.m., just about 1 hour after the initial treatment and symptoms, and was immediately attended by doctors. This was learned later had prevented greater stroke damage. So we had followed in our car. At the hospital, there was a special area designated for those with COVID symptoms, which we didn't need to go near. We registered her and waited while she was in emergency. At no point did we fear going to the hospital, although we knew it was dedicated to treating COVID-19 patients. We just wanted her to get into the nearest hospital because stroke is an emergency and time is critical to prevent greater damage. All the time when she was in the hospital during the COVID scare, when we visited, we did not feel scared because the staff in the hospital explained procedure to us and the situation was professionally managed. At all times, our safety was priority, and we too follow all precautions diligently. By 9:30 a.m., about an hour after arrival at the hospital, the neuro was explaining to me that my wife had a hemorrhagic or bleeding stroke. He advised against any surgery due to the location of the clot, and she was started on medication. By 1 p.m., she was transferred to neuro ward where she spent for 8 days. Initially, the hospital allowed one member of the family to stay with her. But later, because of this COVID-19 scare, and this was not allowed. When this change happened and she was alone, her mood changed too. She was unstable, especially at night. I explained to her why it was necessary. She was able to process this info and became more settled. It was hard for me seeing my wife so helpless. It was a shock, so unexpected. Everything changed so fast for the whole family. Deep down away from her, I cried. I survived by constantly reminding myself that I needed to be tough. My family needs me. My wife needs me. I need to be strong for her and my family members. I need to give her the strength to fight this. I reach out to anything that would give this huge inner strength. In front of her, I was strong, tough, and positive. I told her things like, it's not the end of the world. We, your family, your parents, are all with you, supporting you and doing whatever possible. You have to be strong, focus on your recovery. She was still bedridden and needed a wheelchair when we took her home on May 15th, after 18 days in the hospital. After a couple of days at home, my wife went into hospital again. And this time it's to Tung Shin Hospital for more rehab and also for acupuncture. She spent 3 weeks there. When she was discharged on June the 10th, she was able to move with the help and using a quadruped walking stick. After a few days rest, on June 16th, I brought her to Nassam. My sister-in-law had heard about the Stroke Association and informed us. I also Googled and I learned more and waited for the reopening. It was closed because of the MCO. We come to Nassam 3 times a week. My wife is determined to get well and willing to do whatever is necessary. I can see her improving under the care of the therapist, who is doing a tremendous job during the one-on-one sessions. I wish soon we can have all the things that Nassam offers for the stroke, like the group sessions, social outings, and celebrations. What we have right now is great. It is very focused and personalized towards her needs. But I wish she could also be in a group environment where she can make friends and together they can help each other in recovery. The engagement with other strokies, I feel, is also very necessary for recovery. Nassam is a well-organized NGO. We feel safe coming to Nassam. And as I mentioned earlier, my wife has been making good progress since we have been here. And it may be an effort to come off home, but we determine to continue doing this because we want her to recover. As to how I have managed thus far as a caregiver, I am thankful the support of my 3 kids. They are united by their love towards their mother and have automatically assumed roles so that I'm not alone in the journey. 2 of them are working and 1 is still studying for a professional course. They take care of their mother. They help her with physio at home. especially my second son. One of them cooks all the meals. The other drivers around when we go for rehab or to the hospital. Another one devotes this weekend to the family, as during the weekday he works long hours. For all of us, the reward is seeing my wife Wong Fong becoming more and more independent. It's nearly 2 months after a stroke crippled her. From bedridden and totally dependent, today she can walk and help herself. We are proud of her tremendous achievement. To all those going through a stroke in the family, I wish to say, be strong, be positive, and believe that there is a life after stroke for your loved one. Thank you.